When we last left our heroes, Nara the Drow Sorceress, Denir the Catman Wizard, Asmo the Snackman Fighter, and Wolfgang the Angelic Warlock, in an attempt to bring the Hammers of God, a group of anti-sorcerer Kench loyalists, out of the shadows, they created a new holiday for the lands of Silver Rock to celebrate the end of Barristan Kench's rebellion and returning the lands to peace. This Reclamation Day would be highlighted by the unveiling of a monument depicting the unity of arcane innate and those of common blood, the monument itself being the trap to snare the Hammers of God. Of course, any celebration of this size was likely to draw the eyes of dignitaries, including the King Bahoom himself, who Nara greeted as he entered the lands. It also drew the eye of Ramses Palto, who sent a quartet of sorceress diplomats to the party. Do these four have ulterior motives after the attack on their capital only weeks ago? And will the Hammers of God take the bait? Only Reclamation Day will tell. As will the typing. The typing of ages. So, where we left off last night, well...
Where did we last laugh?
The last laugh... where we last left off, Wolfgang, you were presently escorting Bordish, one of the four sorcerers, the bronze-skinned, bald woman from the north to, I believe you were going to go look for the Wandering Weasel?
I believe so.
And I pulled him aside to say we need to talk.
That's true. So before
that is also true.
So before you wandered off, Nara pulled you aside.
All right. What's this all about then?
So, I just had a talk with Leaf. And, I'm still sort of processing this information. I feel like we need to talk somewhere private first, actually. Because I want to know if you knew about this already or not.
Okay. How far away is my office from this point?
You are in the kind of like, you're in the diplomatic quarters where your house is. You're probably like a 3 to 5 minute walk from the Kylum. Like, you literally just dropped off the sorceress diplomats at the place that they'll be staying.
Yeah. Wolfgang sort of pinches the bridge of his nose. All right, yeah, but let's make it quick, shall we?
Tell your friend you're gonna go get drinks in a second, but I need Denir, too. Like, now.
Okay. I'll go back out to Bordish. I'll explain. I'm terribly sorry. An urgent matter has just come up, and I'll be 5 minutes. I'll be right with you.
Where's the nearest tavern from here? I can meet you there.
I'll sort of like look over the horizon. Do I see the weasel from here?
You do not see the weasel from here. There are no bars here in the diplomatic quarter. The closest tavern you can think of would probably be Loxley's.
Yeah, I'll point her down the road. Loxley's is down that way.
I'll just grab one of your guards to show me. I'm sure they don't mind acting as tour guide.
I'm sure they don't.
And she wanders off, telling you, bidding you farewell. And she goes and finds a guard, flags him down, and just kind of like swivels her arm around his elbow and just kind of like gestures forward, and he stiffens up and then just like continues forward, showing her the way.
And then he hurries back to Nara.
Nara looks very intense right now. She is not fun. She is not... None of her normal vim and vigor are present right now.
Okay, follow me.
Asmo, I believe Asmo was present for this point as well, since he had made it.
No, I got hasted off. Remember?
Oh, that's right. You hasted
He
away.
ran off.
So one of the things that I've been doing, and I've been listening to what you guys have been doing right now, is just for right now, what's going on. Asmo would make more sense that he'd be monitoring what is going on with the security, especially for what today is. So it's okay if there's a little bit less Asmo. That's fine.
All right. Yeah.
That's fine.
It's in terms of time, it's approximately dusk about now. The sun is setting. There's still a little bit of light in the horizon, but with that, you guys make your way to the Kylum and into Wolfgang's heavily warded office.
Yeah. Nara mentioned that she needed Denier as well, so Wolfgang would have had someone send word to the High Arcanist.
Do you want Asmo there? Asmo probably could leave Earth in charge if you'd like Asmo to be present for the next convo. Not the metagame too much.
It's sounding like it might be a group meeting sort of deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that okay if is that too metagamey?
No. Honestly,
Okay.
it's very easy for the Lord to ask somebody to go send a message and get everybody to convene somewhere.
Okay. Asmo might come and going, you know I'm busy today. Of all days, right? Yeah, so they might be.
And then you walk in and you see Nara just very intense.
Very intense and grim.
Oh, okay. All right. Goody gumdrops. Okay. I was gonna give you all crap because you know how busy I am today, evidently, but apparently something else is going on.
She's
Denier-
just
Apparently.
stone-faced. She's not even, like...
Asmo does sit down beside Nara and go, okay, you doing okay? You doing okay?
Denier is. Can Denier roll an insight on Nara?
I don't see why not. Nara, are you trying to hide how you're feeling at all?
Oh, well, doesn't matter. You got a
Nat
nat
20.
20.
I mean, she's clearly upset, and it's clearly about something that had to do with what happened up north. You know that there was an assassination attempt of sorts, and you know that she is connected pretty directly to a very powerful assassin, so you could maybe put two and two together.
Denier is immediately going to look around the room. Okay, first off, just to give everybody a heads up, we have a mind reader inside of town right now. So we need to be careful about anything that gets said here.
Yeah,
because
that's what
I'm
I
going to be
think, but
interacting with a mind reader tomorrow.
Is there any way to block that at all?
Wolfgang scratches his chin and he pulls out the iron halo that he got from his time in the void.
That is a way.
Oh, so I could technically put that on and be free from the mind reading?
It would
I
give
think we-
it would give
I
you
will-
it would give you an advantage against it.
Yeah, I think we all have a variant of this. Wolfgang's got his iron
Someone
halo.
sold theirs, I think. Or traded it for something. thought.
Denier wouldn't, because that would be Denier Prime.
Right, and Asmo wasn't there to get one.
So you have two presently.
We have two. Okay.
You have two, just for me and Nara then. Okay.
Whoever you believe is least likely to, or most likely to potentially fail such a check would be the best bet then.
Right. Nara is sitting near a desk, elbow bent on it with her chin in her hand, and she's just sort of tapping her bottom lip, thinking really heavily, staring at everyone.
Only two of us can avoid having our thoughts overheard. The kid is sweet. He's nice. I don't fully understand their situation up north.
The small one appears to be a mind reader. The one with the spear appears to be an abjurer. The friendly one, he's either an enchanter or a conjurer. And the bronze-skinned one appears to have some kind of draconic lineage.
Okay, so the mind reader I'm worried about because we're currently trying to do what we're doing right now in the other place.
And apparently he can't control it either.
No, he just reads without thinking. But he did tell me very excitedly about his master who's training him.
So he's a psychic person who overshares.
Only because he trusts me. Seemingly. But what concerns me is that his master can do something called tuning a soul?
Asmo just kind of looks up that. To the non-magic one here, that sounds about as freaky as it is in theory, I'm guessing.
Explain.
So, from what I think he was trying to say, imagine your soul is a song, and it goes a certain way. Notes go in a certain order. Now imagine if someone was able to see that and take some of the notes out. Essentially tuning or pitching up or pitching down things.
How is it any different from mind control?
I don't know.
Doesn't sound much different.
We
dealt with that before. That sounds like a cleritrix.
We do know that one of Ramsey's children specializes in that kind of thing. That might be this particular student's master.
Right.
The entire group was getting ready to ascend. They were getting ready to become demons.
And the squid faces showed up there?
From what
That's
they're
what we were told.
Apparently, they had something that allowed them to just open up a rift.
which is very interesting because not too long ago the Academy of Iceforge was broken into and items that were dealing with planar travel was stolen.
Right. There was something else about their Ascension Day where things went awry. And I'm going to ask that if anyone thinks of names, they do not say them out loud. Understood?
Looks at everyone.
Nods.
Asmo squeezes your hand.
She's very, like, cold and almost clammy a little bit.
So she's like body temperature to you, Asmo.
Yes.
Ooh.
Which is weird for that.
Leaf said that people in black cloaks came during Ascension Day. And a man who had bandages over his eyes was there. Now, I don't know if we know that person or not. Hopefully we don't.
I wish we probably didn't know that person, but I'm very realistic with how, unfortunately, small this world feels. Day by day, the more people we meet. Continue on, sorry.
Nara's gonna look at everyone's expression and see an insight. Like, does anyone know things that she does not?
Well,
The only one here who would but hasn't said anything is Wolfgang. So Wolfgang,
Yeah, she'd be
deception
the
versus
one.
insight. Let's see, 13 versus. Oh!
Ooh, 13 to your 12, buddy.
That's like, yeah, like something
Yeah.
in his expression just kind of like as you make eye contact with Wolfgang, he breaks that eye contact in a way that says he knows something. Not everything, but he knows something about that.
Single
immediately
sweat drop.
stands up and drops Asmo's hand.
What do you know?
You mentioned don't name names.
Right. But what do you know?
I know that something happened. I have a pretty good idea who the assassins are.
And what happened to them?
If you need a refresher, feel free to ping me.
The Wolfgang closes his eyes and shakes his head.
Oh,
I feel like someone needs to be smoking mysteriously right now. Like, just-
well,
We can discuss this more after the festival. But right now we've got a lot of plates spinning.
Nara's entire body relaxes and her face slacks.
okay.
It's not as bad as you think. At least as far as I know.
I suppose nothing will change from now till tomorrow. Whatever has happened. Whoever they are.
It can't be the dead eyes, right?
Asmo breaks the silence.
Nara immediately snaps her head over at him. Like, what the fuck? Why did you say that out loud?
Oh no, I talked when I should have thought. Damn it! Better about that. Sorry. Thinking out loud. The bandages over the eyes. That's pretty telltale.
Nara leaves.
What? I guess I'm really confused. I'm so sorry.
We weren't supposed to be saying names out loud.
Oh,
No names, no identifiers.
I didn't think that was actually a thing. I thought that was at a different meeting or when we were around the psychic person, we couldn't do that.
No,
I
because
was
if
very-
anyone hears it out loud,
Okay,
then they
I-
have a memory that they can recall that they can steal from.
Okay, I did not understand that at all. I'm sorry.
But
guys.
Asmo wouldn't have understood that, so that's what happened.
It's honestly very on brand for Asmo. So
Sorry,
do
some
not
of this
be
stuff
worried.
is just even out of character. I'm just like, I don't fucking know, man. I don't.
Nara, wait.
Oh, she's like gone. She's on a warpath, gone.
would Wolfgang be able to catch you in the hallway, or are you jumping out of
If
the
she-
nearest window?
Yeah. How fast? How unangry are you trying to walk?
We'll see how determined Wolfgang is to catch her.
No, we got. If she's running, that's different. Are you angry walking?
She's not like, the dun dun dun, like, running, but she is like angry and walking fast.
Okay.
So if he really has something to say, then he could catch her. But if it's like gonna say empty words at this point, then he will not.
So Wolfgang, you catch Nara in the as she leaves, you walk you do that. It's that classic shot over her front shoulder in the hallway, you stepping out into the doorway.
Wait, I know she's got that. I know she's got the void thing that she was given. It was a tiara, right, for her?
I believe so.
Yep, a void circlet.
Void circlet, yes.
Yeah, you turned yours into a halo, or yours was turned into a halo.
Could I
Asmo,
do
back
an
in the room.
insight?
What did I say? I'm so lost, Denier. I'm so lost.
Could I do an insight to sort of gauge her intention as she's walking?
Go for it.
Sure. Nara, are you trying to hide how you're feeling, or are you wearing that on your sleeves?
No. Ever since her musculature dropped, or her tense posture of being concerned dropped, she's just determined, very business mode.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an insight, Wolfgang.
14?
What would I need to do?
If you're not trying to hide how you're feeling, then all I would say is give Wolfgang a kind of a 5-word description of how you're feeling. If you are trying to hide, give me a deception.
15.
It's hard to read from the back of her. It's hard to read
By
her from,
one!
Yeah.
Asmo kind of catch. Can Asmo catch up at the point and yell, "No, I'm sorry! My beat!"
She looks to Wolfgang. She looks as though she is walking as if it were a normal day and she was thinking about nothing.
Oh, that's her solution? I'm not angry.
Okay.
She is placid.
Are you mad? I'm not mad.
Everything's fine.
Ah, so you're lying. Cool.
Why would I be mad?
Oh, there we go. There it is. There it is.
Yeah, Wolfgang just doesn't say anything for the moment. Walks back into the room. Denier, do you have any...
Asmo's trying to find her now.
All right. Asmo chases after Nara. And Nara, you're far enough ahead at this point that are you trying to hide from everybody? Are you just trying to get out of there?
Yeah, at this point, she's like, I'm done. I'm out. No more talking.
That would probably be stealth versus perception.
Oh, here
Mine?
we go.
Oh my god, good luck.
Weirder things have happened.
My perception, his stealth?
No, your stealth, his perception. He's trying to find you.
I see.
Because you
then
are...
I am screwed. Yes.
19.
Asmo, you managed to find Nara. She's...
Nara, I'm sorry for saying what I said in the meeting room. I'm sorry. Okay? Are you mad?
Still walking.
Okay, that is not the action of someone who's not mad, so I'm just gonna keep on walking with you as if everything's okay.
She stops.
And we're gonna stop.
Turns very slowly. Her face is... what would be the role for him to discern what her expression is?
Are you trying to, outwardly show him what you are feeling?
No, not at all.
Oh,
God.
Still a deception versus insight.
Okay. So his insight, my deception?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, 10.
Good thing my insight's great. It's not. Yeah! 15.
Wow, Asmo knows her well enough.
Right now,
I mean,
he does.
you guys have been together for at minimum 5 years at this point, so.
That's true. So yes, he knows the tiny.
I'm going to imagine they spend a couple days together every now and then she just goes off to doing her thing. You know what I mean?
Basically, like crawls into the night.
Yeah, exactly. Since he's also he's chief sheriff,
Goblin hops.
half their relationship
yes.
is like at work. It's probably the truth of it.
Crawls in
Yeah.
crawls in through the window at night.
Oh God.
Lucky you're
So-
immune to those runes.
Oh God. Yeah. So her face to anyone else would be completely unreadable, but to Asmo, he can tell that she is scared, she is angry, and it is taking all of her to not say anything.
Asmo, okay, so Asmo can tell. Asmo moves to place his hand coming from underneath and like put his hand kind of underneath her hand to grab it, but nothing intense, just a soft light, just like kind of compassionate kind of thing. Just
Her eyes immediately start to well a little bit.
Asmo. Okay, how many people are around us right now?
I mean,
Would I be able to tell?
at this point, you're in the court of the Kylum Diaboli, and it's, I mean, most of the students were given leave for the festival for the weekend, so anybody who is not, like, there are like 1 or 2 people in the courtyard just kind of like sweeping up and cleaning up for the evening, like, you know, people that live in the dormitories, but there's not a whole lot of people around you right now.
Asmo pretty much pulls her in for a hug and puts his arms around her. It holds her close, and if she lets him, that is.
She will. She will.
Just Asmo just kind of pulls her in and just goes,
Oh, we've been doing so much lately. We've been doing so much lately. I'm so sorry. And however I can help, I'm gonna help with all the weird magic stuff.
Asmo just tries to like,
I'm gonna try my best.
She's so used to hearing him like try but not understand things that she takes it genuinely.
Speaking of weird magic stuff, Tango Muerte is kind of jostling at your hip right now. Almost tugging, even, to a certain extent. Like it's just tick, 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 tick against its holster on your hip.
She looks down at it and pays very close attention to what it's doing.
As you get a little bit of distance from Asmo, where it was kind of like tugging, you see that it kind of like lifts and tugs in one direction, out towards town.
Nara will kind of use the base of the palm of her hand and wipe her eyes and look at Asmo, look at Tango Muerte, and just start walking that way.
Do you want me to come with? Or is this alone?
She'll just, without saying anything, she just holds her hand out and kind of wiggles her fingers at him.
that's code for coming here.
Yeah.
So
All right, Earth's in charge of the thing right now. I'll come with you.
Asmo follows along.
If you'd like to go ahead and give me, like, if you want to figure out, like, what's going on here, because there are some feelings kind of vibing with your emotions right now.
Yes.
Go ahead and
wanna
give
know.
me a charisma check.
Just straight charisma.
Straight charisma with advantage.
14.
There's not. Let's see how well it's vibing with you. Well, you can't vibe much better than matching numbers. It seems to have an answer to the question that you posed for it earlier in the day.
Oh, okay. All right.
And it starts leading you off into town. We'll cut back to this momentarily. as we go
Okay.
back to Wolfgang and Denier, who were left in his office.
Daenerys leaning against the desk with his staff up against his shoulder. He glances up towards Wolfgang as he comes back.
Wolfgang just takes his hat off and like rubs his temple.
Sometimes I'm happy that I keep myself in the dark on things like this.
You know, a lot of the times I feel like I'd be happier if it was 5 years ago and people in charge were just telling me what to shoot.
I can understand that.
Bloody hell. Why now? Why here?
Part of me wishes that we were back in Amberglade in that in the Wandering Weasel, like we were so long ago. But now we're older, stronger, and we have responsibilities.
I thought bringing up a child was hard. Any ideas, Daenerys? How we can get through this situation without starting a war?
Well, given that I'm going to be the one that's going to be interacting with them the most probably tomorrow, and the fact that I don't know anything, thankfully.
Except what you just learned.
Well, Daenerys has never met the Deadeyes.
True.
At all. He's never met the Deadeyes. He's never met Kageroshi. All he knows about Kageroshi is that Solomon wants him dead. And in his mind, Talia quit the Deadeyes to join the Kylum. So he doesn't know anything to be able to give up. And Asmo said it's not the Deadeyes, so he has plausible deniability to rule out the Deadeyes as the assassins. Daenerys glances over towards Wolfgang. Try as if you think that you might be able to give up anything. Do as much as you can to protect yourself. If you have secrets that don't need to be getting out, that's the kind of thing that I've been training my entire life to be able to do.
Wolfgang sort of affixes the halo to his hat in a decorative fashion.
Luckily, it kind of blends in with the brim a bit, too, so...
Hey.
Or whatever the top head part of the hat is called. So I think the brim is the outer ring. I don't know. I'm not a haberdasher.
I do have some plans. Play good host, run distraction as much as I can. I've got a few ideas. He gives a little bit of a grin.
Well, I trust you as much as I ever have.
The enchanter seems like the best way I can describe the enchanter or the conjurer seems to be a golden retriever. So I'm going to introduce him to a golden retriever of our own. Denier gives a grin.
Oh. That might be... Sure. Fuck it.
I mean,
Seems interesting.
seems like something that can't blow up in my face, right?
Surely.
Impossible.
He gives a bit of a chuckle.
Well,
I'm going to, at least the plan is to take them through a basic tour of the academy tomorrow. They seem interested in learning exactly how the arcane innate and the wizards of the city are considered equals to those of not of mundane blood.
well,
Hopefully I can maybe give a good impression of the other side of the coin, what Ramses has been teaching.
hopefully they'll take that to heart.
Agreed. I mean, we've done well so far, especially with the trade post.
Yeah. Well, probably ought to get back. They're expecting me to have a drink with them.
Yeah, that one. That one is the one that you were with was the most interesting. She seems to
poor-
have draconic blood.
Yeah, I can only make assumptions on that part.
Mm-hmm.
Whether
So-
she's harboring any ill will on that front. I mean, Horatius here
Mm-hmm.
and at the bar. I should go.
You really should.
And Wolfgang begins to hurry along to the bar. After realizing that, just, oh fuck, just starts walking out of the office.
And Daenerys gives, as Daenerys stands in his office for a few moments, he thinks before a big Cheshire cat smile appears on his face, and he begins walking back towards the tower, a little bit of a skip in his step, as a plan has suddenly crossed his mind.
Dangerous. All right. Let me see. What sounds do I want to play for this? Asmo and Nara. At the Blade's direction, it has brought you further past the city center, down towards the Gulf of the Maw, towards the slums of the city. This place doesn't get quite as much sunlight as the more hilltop center of the city does. Everything just kind of flows down until you hit the Maw itself. Down towards the Maw is where you get kind of some houses built basically out of like scrap wood, all kind of like pinned together with old rusty nails. Maybe if they're lucky, they found some like tin roofing. But right now, you're still walking through some of the old old quarried stone buildings, kind of lined side by side. The stones themselves stained with various amounts of bodily fluids, and smelling all the more like it. There are nondescript, foul-smelling puddles left and right. Every now and again, you come across a pile of refuse swarming with rodents.
Yum.
Mm-hmm. And there are people kind of like lining the streets as well. Most of them just trying to stay covered and stay asleep. Many of these buildings look derelict. Asmo, this is you've been down here a number of times, and you knew best, like, as you were approaching this place, to kind of like buckle over your uniform with your cloak and just kind of hood up. Nara, you look fairly out of place in your very ornate garb and have drawn a number of eyes. Mostly curious eyes, a lot of very sad-looking, gaunt faces looking out from half-shattered windows.
Gotcha.
But the blade keeps pulling you forward into this kind of spiraling set of, like, streets and buildings.
Okay.
If you have any role-playing to do, here's a good point to do it. But
Asmo's just kind of looking around because Asmo like doesn't want to, because Nara's in her zone, and so Asmo's just playing support in this.
Nara is not in a talky space right now. She's
Gotcha.
like not. She's very not verbal right now.
Is the sword pointing into one house or a general area?
It seems to be kind of like tugging at her like belt loop, well, her harness for it in a kind of a steady direction. It's getting a bit more precise as you're getting closer to its destination.
Okay. Yeah, aside from just a few glances of looking at Asmo that to see that he sees what's happening as well, she doesn't want to say much of anything. So that Asmo cannot make memories of what she is saying.
All right.
Asmo's just sitting there with his hands kind of clasped, just looking around, make sure no one's really hovering nearby.
You can both make me perception checks, Asmo with advantage, as you've kind of patrolled this place a few times.
It's his job now.
16.
24.
Actually makes a lot of sense for Asmo. There are a lot of broken bottles around here. Very, like, they definitely look to be reused, and a number of bottles bearing the mark. This is what you both see, and a few of the bottles kind of bear that tri-clawed mark of that dealer that you've been trying to hunt down. And every now and again, you see that same symbol kind of painted in pale colors on some of the buildings around. It actually seems to reflect a bit more in the moonlight than it would in the sunlight.
Can you repeat that again? It's like you said they were what in the sunlight? You just kind of cut out on my end. Sorry.
The paint actually, to your eyes, Asmo, seems to reflect a lot better in the moonlight than it would in the sunlight.
The paint?
Yeah, the paint that they used.
From
It seems to be lunar luminescent.
From the tri-clawed dealer that you've been searching for, their logo is like around, and it's reflecting the moonlight in a way that it would not in sunlight.
What time of day is it at though right now?
It's nighttime now.
Oh, it's nighttime now.
Because it was dusk earlier.
Asmo just kind of taps her on the shoulder.
Looks back.
Asmo just kind of points, but Asmo also, when he points with his pinky essentially, and then with his pointer and middle finger, kind of point at his eyes and then do a big like he bugs out his eye a little bit and points at it again, if that makes sense. I think that makes sense, right? Your eye, it'll blow your eyes. I don't know.
Oh,
you know
yes.
what I mean?
Yeah. She would look and understand, like, oh, okay, got it. I see the thing.
Asmo still doesn't fully understand the not talking thing fully, but he's just gonna try and play support. So there you go. Hope that helped.
You finally find your way to what appears to be the Tango Muerte's destination. An old, what looks to be like 2-story stone building, kind of like a ye olde townhouse kind of set up. The windows are kind of dim. There are like there's shattered glass on the walkway out front. Everything around here just smells like some combination of festering meat, urine, and a cacophony of other bodily fluids. But the blade itself just seems to point at this building. There's 2 windows on the upper floor, and a few boarded over windows on the bottom, and a cheap wooden door at the bottom as well.
Is there any sounds coming from inside?
Go ahead and give me perception checks.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same.
17.
Perception 29.
Oh my, Nara.
You, Nara, believe you see kind of like just a shade of movement in one of the windows up top, but moreover, it's less of like this is not a sound that you hear out loud, but something in the back of your head that just says, "Please end it."
Uh-oh. Okay. Oh, God. Oh, this is gonna be a thing I don't want. I have a feeling.
You got a feeling?
Yeah, I do. Nara is gonna pull out Pixie Stick
All right.
and grab both of Asmo's hands.
I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Okay.
I'm just gonna look.
If I hear anything, what do I do?
I'm just gonna float up and see if I can look in the window.
Okay.
I'll come back down in a sec.
And then she'll kind of quietly and as stealthily as possible go up to see if she can get a better look in the window.
All right. As you get closer to the windows, are you trying to do this unnoticed as well?
Yeah, if possible.
Give me stealth. I'll say like you don't have disadvantage because of your natural nightliness.
Yes. Oh God, 8.
Oof. Lucky for you. As you make it up to the windows, even with your amazing perception, you were wondering why you could barely see anything through them. Now you're kind of understanding this because they're like kind of smeared with what appears to be some kind of like, I don't know, it's like grease almost.
Oh, so intentional.
It could be intentional, could just be a lot of old soot buildup that
Exactly. I was
nobody
about to
ever
say,
washed.
so exactly, candles and different light sources inside them have a proper evacuation. It just completely carbons up windows.
Yeah, so they're just dirty, filthy as shit, but like to you it almost looks as though they are smeared with grease. Like almost placard.
Oh boy.
But as you like look into them, nothing seems to notice you. At least like no movement seems to emanate from inside, not from where you previously saw. But
okay.
I'll let your previous perception roll as you make it up here. There is the sickly sweet smell of death coming from inside.
Oh God. Okay.
As well as a lot of other awful odors. But that one shines through because it's one you're very familiar with.
Okay. Then she'll fly back down to Asmo.
It stinks of death.
How bad does it stink?
Bad enough. And I'm not really sure what's gonna be inside.
Asmo was just kind of leaning on the front door and just kind of... Can he just look around a little bit and just kind of like move his like leg backwards and just like kick it back, almost like roundhouse kicking it, but slow leaning against it? Just
Like
bang!
Like kick
Just-
open the door.
Yeah, because I can't imagine it's on their site.
Go ahead and give me an athletics roll.
Okay, just...
This door
21.
is like
21.
this door has seen better days regardless. So, funny enough, as you kind of like lean against the door and you like begin to move to like kick it, the momentum that you were about to use to kick the door, literally the hinges of the door start to fall inward. As you are jostling forward, it seems that this thing was being held up by something.
Are you sure the death you sensed wasn't the house?
Asmo used like air quotes when he says it. Asmo also scans the room as he steps in.
Yeah, so luckily with your athletics check, you were able to catch the door before it fell all the way down, making a loud cacophonous boom. So...
Oh, I know exactly what happened. Asmo put his foot underneath it with his big boot. You know exactly what I'm talking about. We close doors with feet sometimes to not wake our parents. We all know the lies we tell.
Yep, and then you kind of like jostle it to the side, like it's more of like a... as you like slide it against the wall.
Instead of a
But
bang,
as
it's
you do that, Asmo, you smell all the rancid smells that Nara was being kind of blocked from by those windows. Nara, you now smell this even stronger. There is... It smells of awful, you know, like just...
Yeah.
Not the normal awful.
No, like rotted awful.
Yeah.
Nara will grab Asmo's face and look at him for a minute. And lean up on her toes and kiss him.
Don't leave me this time, okay?
Asmo doesn't fully understand it, but just kind of almost like toothy smirks with his golden tooth.
I'm already committed. What are you talking about?
Kind of downplay it a little bit, laugh it off almost, because emotional moments like this are uncomfortable.
She kind of chuckles a little, but there's still like her eyes are very glassy, and she's obviously trying not to cry. And she makes for the stairs to go up.
You're gonna go up? All right.
Asmo, real quick, Asmo changes Chimera into the shell. And in the other hand, pulls out the javelin chain, which is something he has not used in a long time, but he just wraps the chain around his fingers and just has it in his hand, and he has the shell out on his right. So there we go.
As you go inside, I do want you both to make a perception check before you make it to the stairs.
I am used to it.
14.
24.
Asmo,
Oh my
once
God.
again, this makes a lot of sense for you. I guess now, head of security of the town. You kind of case your corners as you go into this room, and you notice, first and foremost, where this smell of death is coming from. In what would be kind of like the larder or kitchen of this fairly small space that has, you know, the small staircase and back, you see a swarm of flies and the partially rotted body of what appears to be a humanoid woman.
Asmo almost immediately just looks away because he's like,
Oh my. Think you saw what you were sensing.
Asmo, luckily, has a lot of breath in his lungs, but can only let out a little bit. He's still holding his breath, like.
Is she's half rotted. That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
I assume dead.
Do you wish to examine?
Yes.
As you get closer, you see that this, let's see. I'll allow, because some of this is just immediately noticeable. But if you want like a more if you want more details, this would be a medical check. If you just want a basic overview of this person, that would be a perception check.
Let's do perception. 14.
You're rolling exceedingly low on those right now. That's amazing.
I know, it's crazy. Probably just because she's scared.
Yeah, she's full of many emotions.
Yes.
At immediate glance, as you kind of wander in with your very good dark vision,
Not blind.
she's got advanced dark vision. Like she can see advanced darkness.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Like she's used to traveling around lightless caves. So seeing this insanely dimly lit place, which there's not a hint of a fire or anything in here. You can see very clearly that one side of her face appears to be slightly caved in.
Ooh.
And it looks like the parts of her that have rotted away looks like they have been eaten by one of the rats that is now crawling out from under her ribcage.
Ooh. Surely dead, though, right? Or do I need to now make a medicine check?
A medicine check would only provide you with potentially her age and any other context clues.
Can we check her
great.
bones? No, I'm sure.
Yeah, you want to carbon date her?
I mean, for
No,
fun,
I don't
maybe,
think
but-
she's in the dating mood right now.
Yeah, no, she's
oh
she's
my
not.
God.
She's more in the dead pool.
Right.
So yeah, this woman who has her face, like half her face caved in. You do notice that there is shattered glass kind of all around her.
Are there any signs of like what happened here?
Investigation check, that would be.
8.
Asmo, would you like to do one
Help.
as well?
Asmo's clear. Oh man, I wish my investigation was higher. One
You've been
second.
rolling fairly high today.
Damn it! You said it. Now it's not
I
gonna
know
work.
it's gonna ruin it.
Yeah.
There we
It's
go.
my job
this
as a DM.
This is where it all
Great.
turns around here.
Oh my god, a 9.
I'll say that together you can kind of put together that this person probably died within the last couple of weeks. Just from pure context clues, it looks as though the bludgeoning damage is what did it. But that's about all you can really infer from that level of investigation.
Okay. Then I guess we'll just carry on our investigation throughout
Okay.
this house.
You were previously going to make your way upstairs. Did you want to stealth?
Yes.
All right. Both of you can give me a stealth check if you wanted to both go upstairs.
7.
Tank!
And now 1?
Natural 1, huh? Okay. So,
There you go.
Here-
You said
here's-
my rolls were really good. You said my rolls were really good.
Yeah,
Yep.
you did say that out loud.
and the natural 1 came at the most important moment, which is great. So,
Great,
luckily, this thing is rolling with disadvantage. Okay. So, as you're going up the stairs, these stairs are old. Some of them are very much cracked, and they are insanely creaky. Which is very evident that Nara, even though you're used to traveling through shadows and sneaking to the point that sometimes you're able to just kind of walk subconsciously without your feet making a noise. Creak, creak, creak. And Asmo, who's used to, like way back in the day,
God.
burglary and such, starts trying to sneak up the stairs, but like the first stair you step on, crack! And the entire house groans. And you hear a shuffling from up the stairs.
Who the fuck's in my house? You better not be stealing my shit! You little fucker, you better go back! Fuck you!
And you start hearing shuffling and a crashing sound from another room upstairs.
Fuck!
As a shape begins to emerge from one of the rooms on the upper walkway. Looks to be a kind of a what would have at one point been a fairly athletic figure turned lithe as he walks out with kind of a half-empty bottle in his hand and what looks to be a cudgel with a bunch of nails sticking out of it.
Who the fuck's in this? Fuck! Who the fuck are you?
Asmo, okay, so is he at the top of the stairs?
Yeah, he's kind of a little bit back from the top of the stairs, looking down at the two of you.
Get the fuck out of my house, you bitch, and who the fuck you are?
City guard, stand down, place the weapon down.
I don't fucking listen to you. This is my house, and I'm the guard of this fucking house.
Nara's gonna look down at Tango Muerte, completely ignoring this guy to see what
It is
Tango Muerte
moving
is doing.
vigorously towards this man.
Fuck you! And fuck this bitch you walked in with!
She holds up Tango Muerte and has it like levitating with the spinning.
Let's see if he
All right.
notices Tango Muerte.
Asmo's got to play here, by the way. Don't worry.
Okay,
Asmo's
no,
gotta
that's like he's very drunk, clearly. So he's rolling a lot of these with disadvantage. He does not notice Tango Muerte.
You staying in my house, and you for what? For fucking what? I'm just enjoying a drink, and you fuck off.
Asmo. Okay, so here's what Asmo's gonna do. Asmo has his javelin chain. I want Asmo to throw out the javelin chain, wrap around the guy, and pull him down the stairs.
Oh my god.
I mean, let's be real here. Why do I have to do all the hard work when the stairs can do that for us?
Pulling this man towards you?
Asmo's thinking. I haven't done it yet. I was asking a question about it. So, Asmo, like this guy, does he look emaciated somehow at all? Does he look like diseased? Like,
Yeah. So basically, he is wearing heavily stained, what appear to be work pants. Like kind of made out of canvas-like material. He's wearing. He's not wearing a shirt. He's kind of like skinny fat almost, or like his meat's kind of just hanging off of his body. You can tell that there was at one point a lot more muscle. Like his arms still show like a bit of definition, but he is clearly been taken to the drink to the point of basically becoming what you see before him. As for if he looks diseased, he's certainly the kind of person that you would cross the street if you were walking, like if you were both walking towards each other.
Okay. Nara will step forward as if to, like, tell Asmo to not do anything yet.
okay, Asmo is just preparing, so he hasn't doing anything yet. So,
She's got Tango Muerte up and is paying very close attention to what Tango Muerte does as she interacts with this guy.
Did you kill her? The one in the kitchen?
That fucking bitch didn't know when to shut the fuck up! And neither do you, it looks like!
Do you want to die?
Fuck you and what army? Like starts to raise the cudgel up.
Why are you here alone?
Fuck you, that's why I want to be fucking left alone. It's not my fault this little shit keeps fucking whining about it. And that bitch wouldn't shut up! And fuck you!
Wait, who was whining about it?
Fuck you, I can't tell you nothing! Get the fuck out of my house!
Is there a child here?
Why, you want to buy one?
Yes. Where is it?
It's in his fucking room or wherever the fuck, I don't know.
Asmo almost looks back lightly to Nari, not believing what he's hearing. Like, there's a fucking kid here? Are you kidding me?
She, like, jangles a coin purse.
How much?
As he looks down at the jangling coin purse, his eyes seem to leer over your form.
I mean, we could talk something without money.
No. Definitely not.
Oh, fuck off, you frigid bitch. Get out of my house.
Do you want money?
How much you got?
More than you could ever dream of.
I can dream pretty good.
50 gold.
Tango Muerte is wriggling in the air to the point that this guy kind of starts noticing the flickering in the air.
Have you ever hurt the child?
What the fuck kind of a question is that? Get the fuck out of my house.
I said, have you ever hurt the child?
So get the fuck out of my house!
He starts to swing the cudgel at you.
Wrong
Asmo.
answer.
Asmo lets out. Oh. What?
Oop, I hit the wrong thing. Whoop.
Oh, you
30.
hit with-
30 will absolutely hit him. And 13 damage will absolutely kill him. How would you like to kill this man?
I want to slice his head off. The minute he raises the cudgel, it's just...
So he
and
raises
head
the
goes
cudgel.
Pop, 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 pop.
The head starts to roll off, the body begins to collapse. It kind of like there's no real banister at the top of these stairs. He just kind of falls down to the first floor and his head just rolls down the stairs past Asmo's foot and lands looking at his body. You can see the eyes still moving around, the mouth moving.
She crunches it with her heel.
So you jump off the banister and just stomp the head.
Mm-hmm.
It is giving them peace.
Crunch! And with that, as your heel digs in through the top of the skull skull itself splinters and shatters to pieces. Gray matter kind of spews everywhere along with blood, and the eye just kind of like rolls out.
She leans to the right and lifts her leg and kicks it really hard and flings the skull off of her heel, and then very calmly just starts walking up the stairs, paying attention to Tango Muerte.
Yeah, well, bet you won't do that again.
Asmo follows after.
As you walk up the stairs, you notice that kind of like peeking out of one of the rooms is a very small, very gaunt figure. Long, stringy black hair. Very emaciated looking face, covered in bruises. Wearing what is essentially kind of a burlap bag for clothing. Just kind of staring, trembling.
She
The small
holsters-
child just sits there with eyes wide, emotionless, eyes as dead as any of you have seen.
She holsters Tango Muerte, but still paying attention to what it's doing.
The blade seems to be at rest.
Goes upstairs. No words, just gets down on her knees and opens her arms at the kid.
The kid looks up at you. Eyes cold and distant. Looks at your arms. And doesn't really move.
Come, child. Your time in this place is done.
Just nods slowly and starts to walk forward. As you get to the top of the stairs, the child just sort of like looks down for a moment, very unemotionally, and then turns and continues looking straight ahead. Looking down at it, it looked down at its father. I'm only using the word it because right now it's Their gender is kind of indeterminable.
Amorphous.
They are child.
Too scrawny.
Too
Scrawny to even know.
Too scrawny and too... Yeah. They look down and they look back up. They look down at their father, and then they look back up, eyes never shifting once from their cold expression.
Can you speak?
Yeah.
Do you have a name?
The eyes look straight forward for a while. Dedra.
Dedra?
She just nods subtly.
Did you call for me?
She grabs your hand.
Are you upset that he's gone?
She shakes her head.
Is it okay if you come with me now?
She shrugs.
Do you know about what happened to your mother?
She nods.
Do you want some food?
Asmo pipes in.
Her head actually
got-
kind of snaps to you.
We can get you some yummy food. Do you like bread?
Nods.
Asmo just kind of...
We can get them food, yeah?
Asmo turns to Nara.
Of course.
I'm gonna head downstairs for a second. Clean up.
You take your leg out of the stair. Kshunk.
Yeah, Asmo just kind of turns. So essentially, Asmo's gonna try and like push with his foot, like just any remains of the body and shit, like ugh, like just
Just
really
kinda
fucked up.
Yeah, just kind of shove it out of the way. You can.
Let's not leave the dead body around for them to see. Let's not do that to them.
There's gonna
They
be
don't need that.
There's gonna be a lot of paperwork anyway. So
We're not gonna need that. We don't need that. The kid doesn't need that.
She looks down at Tango Muerte.
Was this what you wanted?
you get a sense of ease from Tango Muerte.
This is what you want me to do.
Give me a charisma roll.
13.
You might need to visit with somebody else to get a better idea of what's going on here, but right now, Tango Muerte appears to be at peace. This might be something you'd want to talk to the guide about.
Okay. She, offers Dedra her hand.
She continues holding it. Her hands are very bony and frail. Seems she's been malnourished for some time.
Is it okay if I carry you?
She nods.
She hoists her up and takes a sweep through the house. just to make sure that there weren't any other kids, or there wasn't anything remaining in the house that needed to come with her, like belongings or something.
As you go through, there's only one thing that she stops to grab. It appears to be a patchwork doll, something made out of various old ripped fabrics, with sewn-on button face that she grabs and holds tight.
Is that all you wish to bring with you?
She nods.
This will still be your home, but
She, when you say that, she actually grips tighter, as tightly as her little frail hand can, anyway.
Nara looks up, thinks for a second.
this house will be repaired and will legally belong to you when you are ready to see it again. But you can live with us in the city for now, if that is something you want.
She appears to be ready to leave.
She just goes back down the stairs, not caring if there's still a body down there. Poor Asmo's probably trying to work so fast. But
just kind of standing in one part, just stepping along as you're walking out. Just
You covered the body with the door.
Oh my god.
And you guys walk back out into the night to find this girl a meal and another roof
clothes
to shelter her. And with that, I think we'll take a quick break. Hey guys, Lani here. I just wanted to thank you for rolling with us. And if you wanted to catch us live, you can do so almost every Monday at 5 o'clock Central Time over on twitch.tv/Lanipator. Now, back to the show. Wolfgang, you have found your way to Loxley's Tavern at the Adventurers Guild. There appears to be a fairly large commotion as Horace is kind of like the center of the party right now. That is, you know what, that you know, he is a dragon.
Wow.
Okay. There's a large group kind of gathered around him as he's very much had a lot to drink and has probably been buying a lot of drinks for a lot of people, including many of the women of your town. Sitting further away, kind of a small flock of male patrons around her is Bordiche, but she's kind of just like half talking to them as they continue to supply her with drinks, as she just kind of continues to occasionally stare daggers at Horace.
Wolfgang just goes, fuck. And then he enters.
Pip waves as you walk in.
Hello, Pip. That's a new one.
He shrugs. and they gives you finger guns.
I always imagine he has 3 fingers, like an animated character.
No, he has like those mitten hands like a Muppet.
That's better. And he just, no matter what, when he grabs it, the glass is perfectly held in his hand. It makes perfect sense.
Yep.
Holy shit. Just like the Powerpuff Girls.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but yes, Bordiche is not incredibly hard to find. She has garnered the attention of a lot of fairly drunk adventurers who are fascinated by this shiny-skinned, athletic woman.
I'll take a... Sorry, I just sneezed. I'll
Bless
take
you.
a seat next to her, assuming one is open.
Currently there aren't, but as you approach, she notices you and stands up. Ah, Lord Connolly. And all of the other guys just go, ah, damn it, and start wandering away.
Of course.
I give her a look like, sorry.
5 minutes, she says.
You know how it is.
Unfortunately, I do.
Well, assuming that half the town hasn't, would you allow me to buy you a drink?
Perhaps we could take this conversation elsewhere. Horace just lets out this big boisterous laugh as he like slaps somebody on the back and they go flying over the table that he's standing by. The company is unpleasant here.
I understand.
Hmm.
I'm assuming after several years, I would know where the more VIP areas would be.
There are some nice places to walk at night. You can go down by the park, and that one's always a good place just to walk and chat. And at this time of night, the thoroughfare, while not abandoned, is definitely more sparse.
Yeah, he'll take her somewhere where they can just walk and talk. Somewhere scenic.
As you step out, the air at night has kind of like a relatively... the winds seem to be blowing down from the north, so there's like a little bit of a chill in the air. But one thing that you noticed while walking near her is that she seems to radiate a sort of just kind of like general warmth. As you begin walking towards the large tree. So how long have you been in charge down here, Lord Connolly?
This point has probably been about 4, going on 5 years.
Would you say leadership suits you?
Hell no.
Those fit to lead often say the same thing. Ramses has been known to say it a number of times. You won't tell him that I just called him by his first name to you, will you? He wants me to use as many honorifics, but... feel
Don't
like...
make a big deal about things down here.
I feel like you are more of a casual person.
Yeah, the whole high society, upper crust, minding your P's and Q's thing. It doesn't really suit me all that well. I just want to do my best to try and keep this place running. I think I've been doing an alright job so far.
From what I understand, your people thrive. More so than the kingdom that it sprung from.
Well, it's not to say we don't have our fair share of problems, but...
No,
then again, who doesn't?
Who doesn't indeed? Where do your loyalties lie, Mr. Connolly?
My loyalties?
Yes, first and foremost.
No.
What do you hold most sacred? I find that's the easiest way to know a person.
Well, ever since I was little, it's sort of been our family creed to protect people who can't, so I guess you could say my loyalty lies with the people.
She has a light smile to her face about that. It seems you've done them a fair number of favors.
I couldn't have done it on my own.
Without a doubt. Ramses has nothing but high praise for you and your friends. He believes you're a force for good in the world.
Well, I'm flattered.
He does not feel the same about your benefactors, however.
The dragons?
I have my own personal feelings towards them, but...
Sweats a little.
Sweats a lottle.
She is quite warm.
when you're in power for as long as they've been, you're bound to screw up eventually, and likely more than once.
You do see the tightrope you're walking, do you not? They need you to maintain their northern border. We see you as a trade ally. Trade that they wish not to participate in.
Well, I feel like if I haven't earned their trust at this point, I never will.
Oh, I'm certain they trust you. The question is whether or not they fear you and the power that your land holds.
Bloody hell. Never even considered that.
She finds a spot to sit in the park. Just a nice little bench.
He'll park down right next to her.
That tree isn't natural, is it?
Well, divine natural. If your meaning was it planted and grew? Well, then yes. If we just sat here and waited for it to grow, then, well, no. We had a little bit of, shall we say, help.
Something like that is a bit too strong for even a mighty circle of druids. I'm guessing it was help beyond even magical power.
Just makes a slight smile.
Keep your secrets. Still a fascinating entity.
Can't go giving away everything.
Of course not. This land, it was given to you, yes?
By the very dragons in question.
I heard a rumor that off to the west there lies another dragon.
Really?
Just a rumor. None of the scouts that we've sent into the mountains ever returned.
Well, I've been out west before. People there are hard, hearty. They're survivors out there. They dealt with a lot under the previous rule, which is now defunct.
You have traveled far and wide. Perhaps that's why you
I
are
have.
entrusted with this land. You've seen how others rule theirs.
I do my best not to emulate what I've seen.
So you take issue with everything.
Everything I've seen that I don't like.
I'm curious. What about the north do you think could be improved upon? As you said, all places have their problems.
Well,
This
it's been nearly...
is, of course, with the knowledge that you haven't visited since Ramses has taken the throne.
Was about to mention I haven't been there in half a decade. And I only know what I know from hearsay and people that have told their stories from up there.
How did you feel about the old guard up there? I believe you met the current ruler on your first venture.
That's right. Me and my crew, we were the ones that initially brokered peace with Archmage Blackwart.
She kind of sneers at the name a bit. Just not fully, but you can tell that there's like this kind of twist in her eye as you say his name.
Didn't agree with him on everything, but he was willing to make peace. And then that's something. And though it might be, I guess, tenuous at best, but what is this if not peace?
Tenuous.
Is it just a lack of war?
What makes this peace tenuous?
He sort of leans forward and steeples his hands. Well, and he sort of like squints his eyes, thinking about everything he knows that Ramses has done to get to where he is. I'm willing to keep the peace. But I don't talk to Ramses all that often anymore.
Perhaps that needs to change.
Perhaps.
You're a major power on the world stage now, Mr. Connolly.
Much to my chagrin.
Doesn't make it any less true.
That it doesn't.
If you learn anything about this attack, can we count on you for support?
An assassination attempt on the power in the land is a earth-shaking,
Not unheard,
monumentous thing.
but not unheard of, certainly. I know a number of attempts were made on Bahum, and no doubt some might be made on you as well at some day.
Sweats a little, remembers the one that tried to happen.
That's not a threat, of course.
Of course not. Never took it as such.
Good.
Aye, if I learn anything, I'll let you know. But, with the information you've given me, all I can give you are guesses at best.
I'd love to hear them.
Well, I already told you my thoughts pretty much on the matter. These rifts, it was plenty hard to deal with the things that came out of there. No shock that you managed to put them down, but the rift that opened and let those things in, how did you manage to close that?
That was the Archmage himself.
Oh.
His powers are unknown to me. But he
Used that
managed to
staff
seal
of
it.
his, did he?
I believe so.
He he sort of raises his eyebrows in an expression that says that. Do it.
Well, it's getting late, Lord Connolly.
Right.
suppose I
I'm
should-
sure we'll have more opportunities to discuss in the future.
Indeed. In fact, we'd love to open up an embassy and open up one for you as well up north. But we can discuss that later.
Of course. Shall I take you to your room?
Please. And she holds out her arm.
He wraps his arm around hers and leads her off to where she'll be staying.
All right. You lead her back to her quarters.
Please let them cross paths. Please let them cross paths. Please let them cross paths.
I was actually just about to roll for that.
What? What a pleasant, uneventful night this has been.
A very pleasant, uneventful night.
I'm sure no
lovely.
crimes were
How
broken tonight.
delightful.
You don't cross paths on your
Damn
way
it.
to her quarters. However, on your way back to your quarters,
Yeah.
go ahead and all three of you give me perception checks.
20.
As well as Asmo too, or is Asmo? No?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
13.
15.
Wolfgang is very easy to spot, dressed in
White?
dressed all in white. Both of you notice Wolfgang. Wolfgang, what you see is what appears to be a relatively familiar looking family out of the corner of your eye. What to you looks like a mother carrying a child next to a man. Like out of the corner of your eye, it's like, oh, they look familiar, but you don't really notice that it's Nara and Asmo immediately. You have a lot on your mind.
Nara will deviate from her current path and walk over to Wolfgang wordlessly.
Does she have the child with her?
She's
Oh,
carrying-
excellent. Asmo's
She's
just
carrying
gonna.
Dedra.
Yeah,
Asmo's-
Dedra has kind of fallen asleep in your arms. She has crumbs of bread around her mouth, bread and butter and jam. She seems to have eaten herself quite like about as much
And
as her
soup?
tiny stomach she could. Oh yeah, you had soup with the bread, but she loved the butter and jam. She had never had jam before.
Of course. Just walks in front of Wolfgang.
Wolfgang,
there.
Nara has a child now that she is absolutely making herself visible.
I'm assuming Bordish is still with me.
No, you said your adieu to her, and you were just about to
Gotcha.
walk back to
Okay.
your place for the night. It's been a long day,
Wait,
and now Nara is
didn't get
standing in front of
sniped mid-walk.
Yeah. And now Nara is standing in front of you with a child.
Just looks down, looks up at Nara. Looks down, looks up at Nara. Looks at Asmo. Looks up at Nara.
Asmo just kind of has his hands up, like with the shrug, like I don't want to tell you. Like that's the pose he's in.
It just sort of happened, man.
Boom.
Wolfgang just sort of blinks a couple times, looking at Nara. Hello?
Where'd do you keep a child?
I can see the ellipses in the air.
I just wish Asmo not really mouthing. It's a trap. Don't say it.
Wow. Ooh, that depends. What happened?
This murdered his wife first. So we were carrying out martial law.
Nara's eyes are like searching around trying to find the official words that she can use that she's overheard him say before, that she thinks she's parroting the right ones right now.
Wolfgang just gives the most slowly evolving surprised face.
Like the sloth from Zootopia.
Yeah, pretty much.
You didn't think Wolfgang's eyes could open that wide, but they have. And they continue to open wider.
As his expression rises, she takes one hand away from holding the child and slowly also lifts up one finger like, shush.
How much blood is on that finger?
Enough.
There we-
There's the blood finger. Oh boy.
It's just standing there with a bloody finger in front of Wolfgang's face.
No take backsies.
You can't take back murder.
Yeah, I know, that's why I
In
said no
most
take
circumstances.
backsies. That's why I said no take backsies.
So,
This is Dedra.
The child shuffles a little while sleeping.
You gotta be quiet because she's sleeping.
is she an orphan?
Now, yeah.
Fucking hell, Nara.
That's exactly where they were. So we're gonna go get her some food.
She's already eaten.
Looks like she ate already.
More food. There will be more food in the future, I mean.
Promised her I would let her live here in the city. I think I said with me, and I don't know what to do about that now.
Do we have an orphanage set up?
Oh, of course you do. Of course, the city has an orphanage.
Oh,
Would I know if it's quality?
it's called the Kylum Diaboli.
Haha.
How high would you prioritize the orphanage's funding?
I mean, there were likely a lot of orphans after the fucking explosion.
Yeah.
So probably pretty highly.
Then, like,
It would probably be a priority. Yes, I would say.
you would like the orphanage itself. It kind of sits as almost a dormitory body to the city's school, like the public school of the city, and it's well kept, well stocked. The children, they don't eat like kings or anything, but they will have soup and bread, sometimes cheese and meat.
You can take her to an orphanage.
Yeah, not for tonight, though. I feel like that's a morning thing.
Well, then take her to your place.
But
As
that's
much
where
as that's
I
terrifying
think-
me to say that.
I
that's where
realize you live there, so that
Yeah,
might not be
I'd
the best idea.
sleep there. All of my stuff is there. I don't think she would be comfortable around my stuff. Well, maybe she won't care. She was pretty unaffected by watching me behead her father.
Wolfgang
Realizes what
The-
she said and
the
looks at
crickets-
Wolfgang.
The crickets chirping somehow get louder.
Oh, I can do that.
What?
The bugs got really loud for a second. I don't know what to tell you.
Got a real locust
just
problem.
It's just weird to hear.
Listen, this guy needed it. He was rude. He called me a bitch, Wolfgang. To my face.
Wow.
Wolfgang,
What
as
a
you're
bastard.
as you're standing there, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
He did in fact call her a bitch.
True.
Wow.
Yeah,
With this investigation
The
check,
fiend.
will you discover
Will you discover that he did in fact call her a
Remnants.
fucking B
bitch?
word.
That's a 19.
As you're getting kind of like a little bit more flustered, you step forward a bit more, and as you do, you notice that the child is covered in bruises. You can see bed mites and small bugs kind of crawling around her hair. There are clear signs of abuse, and she is still wearing what appears to be a burlap bag.
Wolfgang looks over her, and the more he does, the more his expression sort of softens. He holds his arms out. Give her here.
suddenly like shields her away? Like,
Why?
I'm gonna bring her to me house and have her stay there for the night.
You will walk to your house and I will follow you while holding her.
What do you think I'm gonna do?
I don't know, turn her into a bug or something. You have weird magic. I don't know.
You are one to talk.
What? Lead the way.
Wolfgang leads them to his house.
Luckily,
We're
since
here.
his house isn't too far away. Luckily, since Timry is staying in your guest house, you do still have probably like 2 spare bedrooms, not including your office in your house. Not including, Elliot obviously has his own room, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just give her the one of the guest rooms that we've got. One of the few remaining.
All right, so you guys make it to Wolfgang's house, and Wolfgang kind of gestures at it.
I guess you're staying here for the night.
squints at him.
Yes, I am.
This isn't some elaborate ploy to stay at my house, is it? Like, seriously?
Nara looks up and kind of thinks for a minute. Thinks for longer.
Nara.
No.
Just take her the fuck inside.
Okay.
Runs, scurries in.
As you get inside, as the door opens, the house smells nice, like kind of freshly cleaned kind of smell. A lot of wood polish, and you see Jamat currently tailoring one of your dress shirts, Wolfgang, for the festival tomorrow, and he is kind of like working with a pin and needle and an iron. Oh, sir, I was just... And he notices the little girl in Nara's arms. Sorry, I didn't realize we had more company.
It was a last-minute thing.
Right. I'll go throw the guest room together. I'll only be a moment. And he rushes upstairs, kind of dropping a pin cushion next to the shirt that he's working with.
Probably gonna need a bath.
Aye.
And as you say that, Jamat kind of like nods as he's wandering up the stairs. You hear him kind of like shuffle through a closet. You hear kind of like the flapping of sheets, making sure that everything is well aired and prepared.
Nara's eyes are still looking in the general direction that Jamat went, and kind of side eyes over at Wolfgang.
So, since I'm a city official, you can arrest me, right?
Let's not have that conversation yet.
What for? You did
Smiles.
what this town is best. You did what this town is best known for: killing monsters.
You can
Was
start.
gonna have a mischievous smile, but starts having a more real one.
It's a good thing that the sheriff was there. You write a detailed report. I don't even have to fudge it. I don't fudge it.
Just what's his hand? I don't actually fudge them. I'm just joking.
I don't make up words sometimes.
I don't do that.
You can also start to hear the sound of water being drawn. And what sounds to be like the crackling of a fire. Each bedroom kind of has its own hearth.
Nara's gonna go wherever, I don't know if it's up where the bathroom is,
It's up.
and make sure that Dedra gets bathed and in a bed before leaving, since it's just a dude fest here.
How old did she look, by the way?
With your investigation check. Oh, wait, that was an insight check you rolled. Can you give me an investigation check?
It's a 17.
She can't be much older than 4, honestly.
Hmm. Do I think some of Elliot's old clothes would fit her?
You'd have to ask Jamat if like some of those things are still lying around, but you're
A tailor, I am not.
yeah, you're sure that something can be thrown together, and if not, Jamat will absolutely be able to go and pick some stuff up. Like,
Yeah, that's what he's thinking right now.
Benari, you go to give Dedra a bath.
Yep.
Jamat's basically like he's got his sleeves all the way rolled up, and he's pouring hot water into the tub, and then he kind of like presses a little rune on the side. That should keep her at a good temperature. Is the little thing okay?
Sure if she knows how she feels yet. Probably in shock. Of what I've heard about that stuff anyway.
Right. Well, if she needs anything, let me know.
Will do.
And he nods and lets you get to it. Dedra still seems very kind of distanced. The touch of hot water itself kind of makes her flinch. Clearly, this is the first time that she has felt it.
No boy.
So it takes a while to kind of ease her in there to make her feel safe. But actually, how would you ease her?
She would like probably like put her arms in the water and like swish them around and kind of wait for her to get the idea. And then either pick her up and slowly put her in, or let her do it herself.
As you stick your arm in there for long enough, she jabs her arm in. And you can see just as she puts her hand in there, There is a cleaning solution in the water, like a sort of, I guess, a soap. You can see this dirt just kind of trickle off her arm, like almost in like this swirling, spiraling pattern. She just stares at it blankly as it ripples, seeing her reflection. And that's enough for her to be less afraid of the water, and you're able to kind of get her in there. And Yaz, you kind of give her like a wash. There's bugs kind of like swimming in the water as you wash her hair out. By the time she's done with the bath, the water itself is opaque.
Ugh.
Like she has she was just covered in filth.
Was there another like bucket of water nearby?
There's a series of runes on the wall. Getting rid of the water, there appears to be a button to basically there's a cantrip built into these tubs that will create or destroy water. So you can just destroy this water.
She will destroy it and give one more run of water just to have it be cleaner, so she's not in just mud water.
Yeah. Give her a wash pass and a rinse pass.
Yep. And we'll get her clothed. They're not really talking during this. It's just kind of like,
she doesn't.
This is a thing that needs to happen. We are going to do this thing.
Yeah, she doesn't seem to have many words.
She gets her dressed.
You find outside the room there's a folded pile of what appear to be some of Elliot's hand-me-downs. They're still way too big for her, so as she puts on the shirt, it's kind of like she's wearing a smock, but it's way nicer than the burlap sack she was wearing.
Right. Like a jammy top, but a dress.
Exactly. You also notice that her black hair is actually more reddish.
Whoa.
After it's been washed. It's kind of like a deep amber.
Oh, boy. Well, Nara, you have this tendency of picking up things, don't you?
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
She will get level with Dedra.
Her blank is still cold and distant. It's like she has that 1,000-yard stare almost permanently.
Do you want to stay here tonight?
She nods.
Do you want me to stay here tonight?
She grabs your arm.
All right.
And then with her other hand, she grabs the little doll that she had been carrying.
She'll hoist up the kid and go back downstairs.
Wolfgang, as soon as Jamaat had finished running the bath, he went back to tailoring your shirt. Offering you a drink. He would have poured you a glass of whiskey. Offered one to you as well, Asmo.
If I had been informed about that the man was drunk and drinking all the time,
When
Wolfgang
she
would
steps
actually
away,
refused.
I was gonna say earlier when you were stepping away with her, I didn't want to derail your improv. I was gonna say Asmo kind of explains the better detail what happened.
Yeah,
kind of broke it down.
Yeah, if that's the case, then then Wolfgang would refuse any drinks at the moment.
Nah, I have to get out anyways. Besides, I left Irv in charge of the project, so I don't think she's leaving tonight. I'd be shocked if the kid let her. I don't know, man. We've met some pretty big pieces of garbage. With evil intent, narcissism, all that stuff. Just thinking they're the toughest, but then you meet somebody who's not that strong, not that tough, but somehow the worst you've ever seen. And what a night to be scouting for racism. Alright, I'm gonna bounce. I gotta go. Head out here. I'll make sure a report's on your table, give you the address of the place. Should be reclaimed. Yada yada.
Aye.
Shortly
Take it
after-
easy.
Well, hope she doesn't name this one little ass. I'm kidding.
Shortly after Asmo leaves is when Nara
He
would
South
return.
Park walks away.
Yeah. Talk. Shortly after you leave, Nara, you return downstairs with Dedra, who's now a bit cleaner and still looks fairly sleepy.
Dedra has asked that I stay here tonight.
Yeah, I figured. All right, you can have the same room she's in.
Now that you get a look at her while she's awake, Wolfgang, this girl, like, that 1,000-yard stare, like, she has doll's eyes.
And I know she hasn't said anything up to this point, right? Like, very little.
Very little.
Yeah. Asmo would have told you that, like, the only things that he heard was her muttering to Nara, and that's about it.
Yeah, no, Asmo didn't hear a thing she said, essentially. Just knew that, like, they communicated somehow. That's all he knows. That's why but he's got other obligations, so informed it the best they can.
Wolfgang will slowly approach.
Give me a persuasion check as you do. You're a very large male figure in that belt, so.
Yeah, I'm trying to be as unintimidating as possible. Persuasion, you said?
Yes.
Oh, should be mine.
Of course.
Yeah.
She trembles and kind of like hides her face in Nara's chest.
He immediately just stops.
I would hope, Wolfgang, that she's the only one who lost her father today.
She just stares at him for a while. And then goes upstairs.
The room that you've been given for the evening, the door's cracked. You can see a gentle orange light kind of radiating from within. Jamat has kindled the fireplace. It's just a nice, gentle, warm radiating through the room, and the window is open, so you get this nice little cross breeze as well.
She puts her in the bed.
The softness of the bed seems alien to her. Like she kind of like falls into like the down, and there's almost this look of panic for a moment until she realizes that she's being held aloft.
You will never have to live like that again.
She looks you in the eye as you say that, and she just gently nods. Give me a persuasion check.
19.
Ooh, that's real good.
In the back of your mind, you hear a whisper that you had heard earlier. Thank you.
Her eyes dart over to Tango Muerte. And then up to the girl. Would this be an insight of like who said that?
Insight or Arcana?
Let's do insight. 27, natural 20.
Oh
Natural
my
20?
god.
Good
Yeah.
God.
That's oh my god.
There appears to be some connection here. This. All right, let's see. With a nat 20, how do I explain this?
Oh man, that throws you a little bit, huh?
It does, because there's a nuanced explanation that is easier to palate but less precise.
Yeah, and I need precise because
Exactly.
that 20.
With a nat 20,
Pull up a chair.
this is definitely the feeling of the girl being communicated to you through some sort of semblance of mother death. It's not that the child is psychic. It's that there is some connection between her and death.
Is it the mom? Would I, like, be able to parse out in the same way that Nara has whisper that this girl's mom is talking through the veil through Tango?
It's less of that kind of a connection and more of maybe one of her prayers have been answered.
Oh. Okay.
And that maybe at some point she's seen the other side of the veil.
Oh.
Have you been close to death before?
She doesn't know how to process that.
Too young.
Far too young. Probably doesn't even understand what death is.
That makes sense.
Go to sleep forever.
All right. Well. I'm going to read for a while. So, you sleep. I will be here when you wake up.
She lays back in the bed, and as you read, you can see her eyes just kind of like glistening and staring at you for a long while. Every now and again, you look back up as... what are you reading, by the way?
She had gotten a book on Draconic that she was working on, right? Or
Yes,
did I already
let
work? Did I already get through that?
Do you have
'Cause I've
Draconic?
had that book for-
do you have Draconic as one of your known languages yet?
No, not yet.
Let me go back to my notes on your
Because I had
progress
that
on books.
a while back. I think she ordered it before the time skip.
Honestly, if you had it before the time skip, then I'll say you've probably learned Draconic by now.
Okay.
Like, there's
then
no
she
there's no way in the
probably-
5 years that you would not have figured that out.
Okay. Then she would very likely
Language
be
proficiency.
working on it.
Language
Oh my god! I'm
proficiency,
sorry. I'm
language
sorry. I'm
proficiency.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm trying to like add it, but it's not doing it what I want. That's funny. I'll do that later. What other book would she be interested in? Probably more reading about Mother Death and the Veil and like all of the soul stuff.
There's probably been some material that the guide would have given you. like ancient arcane texts.
Okay, yeah, anything from the guide. Probably studying all of that stuff since she's probably not going to make it to the guide tonight.
You hold up this big, evil-looking book. Just
Awesome.
it looks like a moonless night. But like on the front, there's an engraved skull. Yeah. So you read through that, and every now and again you glance up, and the child's just staring at you. About about 40 or so pages in, you start to notice that the child's eyes slump and finally close.
Oh, okay. Because I would say after like the first 20 minutes, she would probably try and interact with her in some way of like, are you all right?
It takes her about 15 minutes to fall asleep. You can make me an insight check, though, if you want to kind of figure out what's going on while she's staring.
18.
Let's read her immutability. She's just afraid of you leaving.
Yeah, I figured that's what it was.
And with that, she slumbers through the night. And as you continue reading your book, Wolfgang Jamatz continues to prepare your ensemble for tomorrow. And you all get a well-deserved rest before Reclamation Day. Here is where we will end today's session.